Have you ever pondered the significance of Colorado's War, a conflict that shaped the destiny of an entire state? This war, shrouded in mystery, has left a trail of unanswered questions that continue to intrigue us. Was it just a series of unfortunate events? Or was it a calculated move, a chess game played on a grand scale? These questions, though unsettling, are central to understanding the unfolding of this historical period. So, let's dive into the past and unravel the chronological events of Colorado's War. The year is 1864 and tension is mounting in Colorado. A territory caught in the throes of the American Civil War, Colorado found itself teetering on the brink of its own internal conflict. The catalyst, the Sand Creek Massacre. This horrific event marked the beginning of what would come to be known as Colorado's War. The key players in this unfolding drama were the Cheyenne and Arapaho Native American tribes and the Colorado Territory's U.S. Volunteer Cavalry. The cause of the conflict was complex and layered, rooted in territorial disputes, broken promises, and a deep-seated fear of the other. The Sand Creek Massacre was not just a battle, it was a ruthless and unprovoked attack on a peaceful Native American encampment. The massacre was a shocking display of brutality, sparking outrage and horror across the territory. But as the dust settled on Sand Creek, Colorado found itself standing on the precipice of a larger conflict. As the massacre ended, the real war was just beginning. In the aftermath of the Sand Creek Massacre, the war took a sharp turn. As the war progressed, the strategies adopted by both sides evolved, becoming more complex and desperate. One of the most significant battles of the war was the Battle of Beecher Island. It was a clash that saw the combined forces of the U.S. Army and the Frontier Scouts, led by Major George Forsyth, pitted against a coalition of Native American tribes. The battle was a desperate standoff, with the U.S. forces entrenched on a small sandbar in the middle of the Arickaree River. They were surrounded on all sides, with no hope of escape. For 9 long days, they held out against the onslaught, using every bit of their cunning and resourcefulness to survive. The Battle of Beecher Island was a turning point in the war. It showcased the resilience and tenacity of the U.S. forces, but also highlighted the fierce resistance and unyielding spirit of the Native American tribes. The war continued to rage on, with many more battles fought and lives lost. Among them was the Battle of Summit Springs. This particular battle was a significant one, as it marked the end of the Cheyenne Dog Soldier resistance. The U.S. forces, under the command of Major Eugene Carr, launched a surprise attack on the Cheyenne camp. It was a brutal and ruthless operation that resulted in the death of many Native American warriors, including the prominent leader, Tall Bull. The Battle of Summit Springs marked a turning point in the war, signaling the beginning of the end for the Native American resistance. However, it also highlighted the brutal and uncompromising nature of the conflict, with no regard for the lives and rights of the Native American people. The war was a brutal and bloody affair, with no clear victors on either side. While the U.S. forces may have gained the upper hand, the cost was high, both in terms of lives lost and the irreparable damage done to the relationships between the settlers and the Native American tribes. The war ended, but its echoes can still be heard today. The aftermath of the war was a time of profound change. The Treaty of Little Arkansas, signed in 1865, marked the official end of the conflict. Yet, the wounds were far from healed. The landscape of Colorado was forever altered, both physically and metaphorically. The impact of the war was deeply felt by the Native American tribes and settlers alike. For the native tribes, it was a time of loss and displacement. Their ancestral lands were taken, their ways of life disrupted. For the settlers, it was a time of growth and expansion, their dreams of prosperity often built on the ruins of the native tribes. The war had a lasting impact on the very fabric of Colorado society, shaping its development and forging its identity. From the ashes of conflict, a new Colorado arose, bearing the scars and the lessons of its past. The war may be over, but its legacy lives on in the heart of Colorado. So, what can we take away from the chronicles of Colorado's war? We've journeyed through the dawn of conflict, experienced the war unfold, and witnessed its aftermath. We've seen the key events and outcomes, felt the impact, and now we stand in retrospect. From this historical event, we learn of courage, resilience, and the cost of conflict. As we reflect on Colorado's war, we realize that history is not just about the past, it's also about understanding our present and shaping our future.